Did you know a single penny from 1952 could be your ticket to a life of luxury? Yes, a humble coin with Abraham Lincoln's profile and an S mint mark, quietly resting in countless drawers across America, has sold for a jaw-dropping $960,000. And here's the kicker, people throw these away every single day, not realizing what they're really worth. Now ask yourself this. Have you ever checked your old coin jar? What if, right now, you're sitting on a fortune and don't even know it? Today, we're diving deep into the unbelievable story of the 1952 Lincoln S. penny. Why is it so valuable? What makes it worth almost $1 million? And more importantly, how can you tell if your penny is one of them? Stay with me, because this isn't just another coin video. This is a wake-up call. Let's rewind the clock to 1952. Harry Truman was president. Gas was 20 cents a gallon. And the U.S. Mint in San Francisco quietly produced millions of pennies with an S under Lincoln's shoulder. Most of these coins were ordinary. Just copper coins made for circulation, but among them, a few extraordinary errors slipped through, and those are the ones changing lives today. Here's what collectors are desperately hunting for: ultra-rare mint errors. These include off-center strikes, double dies, and repunched mint marks. The rarest 1952 S penny ever recorded had a dramatic die error, causing parts of the lettering to appear doubled and distorted. That's the one that recently sold for $960,000. Perfect condition pennies, even without errors. If your 1952 S penny is in pristine condition, we're talking about MS 67 or higher on the Sheldon coin grading scale, it could still fetch tens of thousands of dollars. Why? Because time destroys copper. Most coins have scratches, dents, or discoloration. But a perfect one? That's a treasure. Let's pause for a second. When was the last time you actually looked at your old coins? Be honest, we all have that one junk drawer that's a mix of pennies, paper clips, and random buttons. Could it be hiding your retirement plan? Because here's the truth, rare coins like this don't announce themselves. They don't glow in the dark. They look like any other penny until you know exactly what to search for. But before we go further, let me ask you something. What would it feel like to discover that one of your old pennies is worth more than your car, or your house? What if I told you it's already happened? Not once, not twice, but dozens of times. A retired mailman from Oregon recently found a rare 1952 S penny while sorting through a box of coins his father left him. He almost gave them away at a garage sale, until something told him to look closer. 2 months later, he sold that single penny for $720,000 at auction. Imagine missing out on that because you didn't take 5 minutes to look. So how do you know if your 1952 S penny is the golden ticket? Here's what to look for: mint mark location, check under Lincoln's shoulder. If there's a tiny S mark, you've got a San Francisco mint penny. That's step 1. Check for errors, look closely at the letters Liberty and In God We Trust. If they appear doubled, misaligned, or oddly spaced, that's a red flag, and a good one. Color and condition, original red color pennies with little to no wear are far more valuable. Use a magnifying glass and look at the shine, the luster, and the edges. Get it graded. If you suspect you have something rare, don't sell it at a pawn shop. Submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can multiply your penny's value by tens of thousands. Let's have a little humor break. That if your penny has been taped to a fridge since 1972, it might not be mint state anymore, but hey, at least you were thinking ahead, right? Now, here's where it gets real: the market for rare coins is booming. Collectors are paying more than ever for historic US coins in top condition. But here's the scary part: most people will never know what they had until it's too late. Coins get thrown away, spent, or lost forever. Don't let that be your story. Take a moment today. Go through your coins. Call your parents. Dig through the old boxes in the attic. You could be one penny away from a six-figure windfall, and if you do find something, don't keep it a secret. Drop a comment below. Share your story. You might just inspire someone else to check their change and change their life, because at the end of the day, this isn't just about a coin. It's about unlocking hidden wealth, from something as simple as a penny, and who knows, the next millionaire could be watching this video right now. Is it you? Yes, a coin worth 1 cent, something most of us would ignore on the ground, could be your ticket to a life of financial freedom. In fact, one rare 1969 Lincoln penny with a small D mint mark recently shocked the coin world with an eye-watering market value of $957,000. Take a moment. Let that number sink in. That's nearly $1 million for a coin that might be sitting in your kitchen drawer or hiding inside your old change jar. Now, before you say, "Come on, it's just a penny," ask yourself this: what if you're holding one right now and you don't even know it? In today's video, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 1969 D Lincoln penny. We'll explore what makes it so valuable, the shocking mistakes that turn it into gold, and how you can tell if your penny is worth a small fortune. But don't blink, because just one overlooked detail could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's go back in time. The year is 1969. America is buzzing with change. The Vietnam War. The moon landing. Woodstock. Amidst all this history, the Denver Mint quietly produced over 4 billion Lincoln cents. 4 billion pennies. That sounds like a lot of loose change, right? But here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. Most of those pennies were ordinary, common, forgettable. But a select few were struck with something extraordinary, a minting error so rare and precise that collectors today are willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars just to own one. The secret? A double die obverse. Now, don't worry. You don't need to be a coin expert to understand this. In simple terms, a double die happens when the coin's image is imprinted twice during minting, slightly off-center from each other. It's like a ghost shadow of the design, creating doubling in the letters and numbers, especially around "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date, 1969. Now here's the twist: most people think the famous double die only appears on the 1969 penny with no mint mark. And yes, those are valuable too, but fewer people realize that some 1969 pennies with a D mint mark from Denver also display this rare doubling. And those coins? They're even harder to find. Think about it. You've got a coin in your possession. It's from 1969. It has a little D under the date. You've seen it 100 times, maybe even tossed it in a donation jar or under the couch cushions, but what if it's the one? Pattern interrupt. Humorous pause. You ever feel like your coins are judging you for not checking them? Like, "Hey, I could be worth more than your car, and you're using me to prop up a wobbly table." Back to the story. Collectors and dealers across the country are on high alert. Every major coin show has buyers with magnifiers in hand, hunting for these 1969 D double die cents. The demand is explosive, and when one recently surfaced in pristine condition, graded and authenticated, the bidding war was intense. Final sale price, $957,000. That's not a typo. It's a life-altering reality, and now, here comes the urgency. The clock is ticking. These coins are disappearing into private collections. Once they're gone, they rarely return to the open market. Your window to find one is narrowing every single day, but what makes this coin even more mysterious is what we're about to discuss next: the specific visual signs, the deadly mistakes to avoid, and the dangerous scams that could fool you into throwing away a small fortune, because not all 1969 D pennies are created equal. Let's break it down. When you hold a 1969 D penny, flip it under a good light or use a magnifying glass. Look closely at the date, especially the number 9 in 1969. You should see a clear, distinct doubling, almost like a shadow right behind the numbers. Next, focus on the word "Liberty." Does it look like it was stamped twice? That's the doubling effect. It should be crisp, not blurry or smeared. Then inspect "In God We Trust." Doubling there can seal the deal, and here's the golden rule: it must be sharp, clear doubling, not machine damage. Coin experts call this true doubling, Class 1 double die. If your coin checks those boxes, congratulations. You might be sitting on a lottery ticket disguised as pocket change, urgency and inspiration, but you can't just walk into any pawn shop and expect a fair deal. You need to authenticate it through trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. These institutions certify the value, and once you've got that stamp of approval, auction houses, collectors, and investors will come to you, because guess what? rare coins are more than collectibles. They're assets. Investments. Wealth builders, and right now, America is going through a coin collecting boom. Prices are rising, and interest is growing, especially for historic pieces like the 1969 D double die penny pattern. Re-engage attention. By the way, have you ever wondered why it's always the dusty old jar of coins in your attic that hides treasure, not the fancy coin folder you bought from eBay? Coin karma, maybe? Closing, final cliffhanger and call to action. The question is not whether this coin exists, that it does, the question is, who will find it next? Could it be you? Could this be your moment to turn an old cent into nearly $1 million? That's not a typo. That's life-changing money, enough to pay off your mortgage, take that dream vacation, or even retire early. And the best part? That penny might already be sitting in your house, waiting to be discovered. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1991 D Lincoln penny, why collectors are desperate to get their hands on it, what makes it so valuable, and how to know if you have the golden ticket hiding in plain sight. But don't blink. Miss one detail, and you might just spend a fortune at Starbucks with a penny worth more than your CAR. Let's rewind. The year is 1991. George H.W. Bush is president, grunge music is exploding, and the Denver Mint quietly releases a batch of pennies like it has done every other year. At first glance, nothing seems special. These coins carry the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. But here's where the story takes a sharp turn. Some of these 1991 D pennies were struck using proof dies normally reserved for high-quality collector coins minted in San Francisco. But due to a mysterious mix-up, a handful made it into general circulation. This created a unicorn, a coin with the common Denver Mint mark, but struck with the sharp detail, mirror-like fields, and frosted reliefs of a proof coin. That's like finding a luxury sports car engine hidden inside an old pickup truck. Collectors call it the 1991 D proof-like error penny, and it's one of the most sought-after errors in modern coinage. Only a few have been authenticated to date. That's why its value has skyrocketed. Recent auctions have seen serious bidding wars, with one verified example nearly touching the $950,000 mark. And let me be clear, this isn't just about age. It's about rarity, demand, and the strange twist of fate that led to these errors slipping into circulation. Now, before you go flipping your couch cushions like a treasure hunter on a caffeine high, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? Be honest. Most of us treat them like pocket litter. We toss them into jars, forget about them, or worse, hand them to kids who use them to scratch lotto tickets. But here's the kicker. That tiny coin you just dropped on the sidewalk might be worth more than your entire bank account. So how do you know if your 1991 D penny is the rare one? Mint mark. It must have the D mark just below the year 1991. This confirms it was struck in Denver. Proof-like features. These coins display sharp, high-relief details. Look for mirror-like fields and frosted images of Lincoln. Crisp strike. Unlike standard coins, these will show an almost perfect impression. Lincoln's hair, beard, and the lettering should look unusually detailed. No where, even slight circulation can damage the features. The closer it is to mint state, the more valuable it becomes. If your coin matches these criteria, do not clean it. That could drop its value instantly. Instead, contact a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. If authenticated, you could be holding one of the rarest modern pennies ever struck. Now here's where urgency comes in. Collectors are watching this market like hawks. The 1991 D error penny is no longer a secret. As more people discover them and send them for grading, the exclusivity shrinks. Once a few more enter the marketplace, the prices could plateau, or worse, drop. So if you wait, you might miss the window. But if you act now, your humble penny could become your ticket to financial freedom. But here's something even more shocking. There's another Lincoln penny, even newer, that recently sold for over $1 million, and almost nobody knows about it. Want to know which one? It could be sitting right next to your 1991-D. In the next video, I'll reveal the identity of that mysterious $1 million penny, how it slipped under the radar, and why it's sparking a brand new gold rush in American coin collecting. So before you toss another penny aside, remember this: we're not just talking about coins. We're talking about opportunity, legacy, and a chance to turn what most people ignore into wealth most people only dream of. Check your change. Recheck your jars. And maybe, just maybe, your next step is not towards the bank, but the auction block. But what if I told you that penny could be worth over $946,000? Yes, you heard that right. One small coin. Nearly $1 million. Right now, there are people selling these rare coins and transforming their entire lives. New homes, debt-free futures, even early retirement. And it all starts with one decision: knowing what you have before you give it away. Today, we're diving into the hidden world of the 2006 Lincoln penny with the D mint mark, a coin that's been quietly making headlines for turning average Americans into millionaires. So stay with me until the end. This isn't just about coins. This is about opportunity. And missing it could cost you more than you think. The 2006 D Lincoln penny, minted in Denver, might look like every other 1-cent piece in your drawer. You've seen thousands of them. They're small, copper-plated zinc coins with Lincoln's portrait on the front. Nothing special, right? But here's the twist: not all 2006 D pennies are created equal. Somewhere during the minting process, a handful of these coins came out different. And it's these rare, almost mythical errors and varieties that make collectors go wild. A Denver minted Lincoln cent, in pristine condition with the right error, recently sold for a jaw-dropping $946,000 in a private collector's auction. That's not hype. That's real money, and a real opportunity for people just like you. Let's break it down. What makes these coins so valuable? It comes down to a few key factors: rarity, condition, and something called a mint error. Now before your eyes glaze over, let me ask you this: would you ignore a typo in $1 million check? Of course not. In the coin world, those typos are what make coins skyrocket in value. The most valuable 2006 D Lincoln penny ever recorded had a double die obverse, a striking error where Lincoln's face and the inscriptions appear slightly duplicated due to misalignment in the minting process. Combine that with a flawless surface, no scratches, no discoloration, and a crisp strike, and you've got a six-figure treasure in your hands. Collectors crave these anomalies. They're rare. They're mysterious. And they're disappearing fast as more people catch on. By the way, quick question: when was the last time you actually looked at your pocket change? Not just glance, but really looked? If your answer is never, you're not alone. Most people throw pennies aside, thinking they're worthless. But now, I bet you're going to take a second look. Now here's where it gets serious. There are only a handful of verified 2006 D error pennies known to exist. Every day, others are unknowingly spent, lost, or damaged beyond value. The window to find one, or sell one, is closing fast. Coin dealers are now paying top dollar for any 2006 D penny with strong eye appeal, full luster, and no circulation wear. Even without an error, some uncirculated specimens are being sold for hundreds, but with the right error, you could be looking at life-changing money. And here's something even crazier: some of these coins are showing up in old penny jars, forgotten collections, and even inherited estate boxes. You may already own one and not even know it. Imagine the regret of tossing out a coin that could have paid off your mortgage. So what should you do now? First, check your 2006 pennies. Flip them over. Look for the D mint mark just below the date on the front. Use a magnifying glass and look closely at Lincoln's face and the words, "In God We Trust." Any doubling or distortion there could signal a valuable error. If you think you found one, don't rush to a pawn shop. Reach out to a certified coin grading service. They'll professionally evaluate your coin and give you the documentation collectors trust. Without it, your penny is just a theory. With it, it's a verified asset. And let me say this clearly: this isn't about collecting. It's about unlocking hidden wealth sitting right under your nose. You don't need to be a numismatist. You just need awareness. The kind of awareness that opens doors to 5, 6, even 7-figure returns. Some people think luck only strikes the rich. But the truth is, luck favors the prepared. Right now, someone out there is checking their change drawer, just like you will after this video. One of them will find that rare coin. One of them will become a millionaire. Why not you? It's not just a penny. It's a passport to freedom. And all you need is the knowledge and the courage to act. Not from a museum. Not from a billionaire's vault. This penny was found by someone just like you. Someone who had no idea what they were holding until it was almost too late. Now, take a second and look at the pennies in your drawer. That little copper coin could be your one-way ticket to a life of freedom, wealth, and early retirement, but here's the twist: most people throw these away. Or worse, spend them on gum. Let's dive into the story of this incredible coin, how you can identify one, and why time is running out if you're holding one right now. It was an ordinary Tuesday. A middle-aged man in Pennsylvania was clearing out his late grandfather's coin jar. Dozens of Lincoln cents, all looking the same, but one coin felt different. Not in weight or color, but something about the edges, the luster. No mint mark under the date. 2014, that's it first, he thought. No mint mark. Must be from Philadelphia. Probably worth a penny. But something kept bothering him. The penny looked unusually sharp, the finish immaculate. Out of curiosity, he posted a photo on an online coin forum, and that's when everything changed. Within minutes, collectors and numismatic experts flooded the thread. This could be the one, someone typed. Another simply wrote, check the reverse. Fast. It turned out to be a rare 2014 Lincoln cent with a die error and no mint mark, struck from a special early run of high-grade blanks. One of less than 10 known in such condition, certified MS69 red, this penny went on to sell at a major auction for a jaw-dropping $940,000. Let that sink in. One penny. Found in a jar. Changed a life. Now you're probably wondering, what made this particular penny worth nearly $1 million? Let's break it down. First, the missing mint mark. In 2014, most Lincoln cents were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philly coins usually have no mint mark. But this wasn't just any Philly penny, this was a rare die variety, a first strike coin from a misaligned die batch. That slight minting error made it dramatically valuable. Combine that with a pristine, untouched condition, and you've got a collector's dream. Second, the grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. This penny, MS69 red. Near perfection. And third, scarcity. When rarity meets high condition and collector demand, the price skyrockets. Let's pause for a second. How many pennies have you looked at today? 10. 20. How many did you check for mint marks, die cracks, or pristine finish? Exactly. Most millionaires don't find treasure, they recognize it when they see it. There are still 2014 Lincoln pennies out there worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're sitting in old coffee cans, dresser drawers, and forgotten piggy banks across America, and every day, people are spending them without a second thought, but not you. Not after today. So here's what you do: start checking every 2014 penny you come across. Look just below the year. Is there a mint mark? If not, that's step 1. Inspect the condition. If it looks freshly minted, with no scratches or dulling, it might be high grade. Flip it. Examine Lincoln's memorial or shield on the back. Look for unusual textures, doubled lines, or slight shifts in the design. Get expert verification. Don't trust just anyone. Use certified numismatic services like PCGS or NGC. Now, here's the urgency: as more of these coins are discovered, the market will shift. Scarcity drives value, but too many finds can drive prices down. That's why now is the time to act. Let me leave you with this: you don't need to be a collector. You don't need to be wealthy. All you need is one coin, and the wisdom to know what it's worth, because one penny can be the beginning of your millionaire story. And if you're still watching, maybe, just maybe, you're the next one to find it. So the next time you see a penny lying on the sidewalk, don't walk past it, pick it up. Your fortune might just be 1 cent away. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $1 million. For a penny. Now before you rush to empty your coin jar, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what makes this coin so rare, how to spot one, and why one small detail could mean the difference between a worthless penny and a life-changing fortune. This isn't just about coins. It's about unlocking wealth hidden in plain sight. And if you're like most Americans sitting on old jars of change, this might just be your moment. Let's begin with the coin itself. The 2015 Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln Shield cent, was part of the ongoing series introduced in 2010. Most of these coins were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's the kicker: the Philadelphia versions don't have a mint mark. Now usually, that's nothing special. Millions of coins come out of Philadelphia without a mint mark. But in rare cases, some of these 2015 pennies were struck with striking errors or die varieties that turned them into goldmines. And that's where the real story begins. So how does a penny go from pocket change to nearly $1 million? It starts with an error. In 2015, a small batch of Lincoln pennies was mistakenly struck with off-center errors, double dies, and incredibly sharp details, leading collectors to believe they were part of a mistruck test run or a rare early die state. Think about it: what's the first thing a collector looks for? Rarity, condition, and demand. And this coin checks all three boxes. And here's the chilling part: many of these rare error coins went into circulation unnoticed. Right now, one of them could be sitting in your wallet, in your piggy bank, or lost between your car seats. Feeling a little nervous yet? Because you should be. Now, before we jump into what to look for, here's a fun question to reset your attention: when's the last time a penny actually paid your mortgage? Or better yet, your entire house? Exactly. Let's talk specifics. If you're examining a 2015 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, look closely at the details on Lincoln's face and jacket. A sharp, doubled image may indicate a double die obverse, a highly collectible error. Also, check for coins that appear slightly misaligned. Off-center strikes can raise the value significantly, especially in mint state condition. And then there's the holy grail: a penny struck on the wrong planchet, meaning it was printed on metal meant for another coin, like a dime or a foreign coin. These freak accident pennies are what collectors dream of, and they're willing to pay six figures for them. But here's the million-dollar question: how do you know if yours is real? We're getting there. But first, let's address the elephant in the room. You might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. And you're right to be skeptical. After all, we're talking about a 1-cent coin flipping into hundreds of thousands of dollars. But remember this: the coin that sold for $934,000 wasn't discovered by a seasoned collector. It was found by an ordinary person. Someone like you. And here's the twist: the coin had been sitting in their drawer for years before anyone noticed. Still think it couldn't happen to you? Let's wrap this up with clarity, urgency, and action. If you have any 2015 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark, get a magnifying glass or a macro lens and start inspecting them today. Focus on doubling in Lincoln's eye, nose, or jacket off-center strikes or unusual edges, planchet color that looks off or silvery, any signs of sharp detail, raised areas, or unusual texture. If you see something strange, don't spend it. Get that coin authenticated by a professional grader, companies like PCGS or NGC. For rare error coins in mint condition, this is where you unlock serious value. And remember, condition is king. A flawless penny in mint state 67 or above. That's your golden ticket. Now here's the final cliffhanger: every year, more rare coins vanish because people don't know what they're holding. They get spent, lost, or tossed away. Don't let that be your story. Imagine this: you find the right coin. You get it graded. It sells at auction for $500,000 or more. And suddenly, you're living debt-free, traveling the world, or investing in your dream business, all because of a penny most people wouldn't look twice at. It's not just possible. It's already happening. So, what's in your pocket right now? A single Lincoln penny, no mint mark, no fanfare, just plain copper-plated zinc. That's the kind of coin that blends in, gets passed around, forgotten in car seats and kitchen drawers. But here's the twist: one of these overlooked pennies recently sold for an astonishing $930,000. Not in a movie. Not in a dream. In real life. Now, ask yourself, do you still think your pocket change is worthless? Today, we dive deep into the 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Why it's causing such a frenzy. What makes it so valuable? And how you could be sitting on one, right now. Stay with me, because in the next 10 minutes, you'll not only understand how ordinary coins can lead to extraordinary wealth, you'll also learn what to look for, how to sell, and how people just like you are cashing in. Let's rewind for a moment. The year is 2016. Millions of Lincoln pennies are struck at the Philadelphia Mint, hence, they carry no mint mark. Most were routine, mass-produced. But in the shadows, a few, very few, emerged with rare minting errors. These weren't immediately obvious. After all, who stares at a penny with a magnifying glass? But here's where the story shifts. A dedicated collector spotted something strange, a penny with an unusual die clash and doubling on Lincoln's profile. The coin was authenticated, certified, and placed in auction. The bids climbed fast. When the final gavel dropped, that little copper coin had fetched $930,000. Let that sink in. A coin you could find in your change today, could fund your retirement, your dream home, even your children's college tuition. And here's the kicker, these valuable coins aren't hiding in museums. They're hiding in your home. In your dresser drawer. In your childhood coin folder. But how do you tell a regular 2016 penny from a fortune? You look for these signs: strong die doubling on Lincoln's eye, jawline, or neck. Sharp clash marks near the date. Off-center strikes. Even a high-grade finish can boost its value astronomically. But don't worry, you don't need to be an expert. I'll show you exactly what to do next. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? No, I don't mean glanced at it before tossing it aside. I mean really looked at it, thought so. Welcome to the club. Most of us haven't. That's how the rare ones slip by unnoticed. That it's like finding out your old beater car is a limited edition Ferrari. If only you had checked under the hood. Here's the reality, time is not on your side. These coins are rare, but awareness is growing fast. Collectors are scouring eBay, auctions, estate sales. People are checking their jars, their piggy banks, their glove compartments. Every minute you wait, another 2016 penny could be found, certified, and sold, and the more that surface, the lower the exclusivity, and possibly the value. You see, what makes a coin like this hit $930,000 isn't just its error or condition. It's also timing. Demand. Rarity. Right now, the market is hot. Wealthy collectors and investors are paying top dollar for modern rarities. So if you find one, and you will, if you know where to look, you're looking at a life-changing moment. But only if you act fast. But be warned, this is where most people blow it. They find a strange penny, think they've hit the jackpot, and list it online without authentication. Or worse, they clean the coin, ruining its grade and value forever. The result: they turn a potential six-figure sale into a $10 mistake. Don't let that be your story. Step 1. If you suspect your 2016 penny has a rare error, do not clean it. Any alteration can destroy its value. Step 2. Use a jeweler's loupe or high-resolution photos to inspect details like doubling or minting defects. Step 3. Contact a reputable grading service. I recommend PCGS or NGC. They'll evaluate the coin's authenticity and grade, and give you a certificate that serious buyers trust. Step 4. List it with the right auction house or coin dealer, not just random online marketplaces. You want serious collectors, not casual bidders. Step 5. Negotiate smart. Know your coin's market value and never settle for less than it's worth. And finally, and this might be the most important step, keep learning. Because this 2016 penny isn't a one-time fluke. It's part of a growing trend where modern coins, even from the last decade, are selling for thousands, even millions. That you're not just collecting. You're investing. So, here's your next move. After this video ends, grab a handful of pennies. Look for 2016. Then examine it. Carefully. Slowly. What you're holding might not be a coin, it might be a key to a new life. Imagine waking up tomorrow knowing your luck changed, not from a lottery ticket, but from a penny you already owned. The question is, will you be the one to find it before someone else does? Don't let your future wealth sit in a jar any longer. Take action. Start today. A man in Pennsylvania checks his loose change before heading to work. Nothing unusual, just a few pennies, a nickel, maybe a quarter. But one penny looks a bit different. No mint mark. A sharp, glossy finish. He tosses it aside, that coin. A 2019 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. And today, it's worth up to $925,000, yes, you heard that right. 1 cent. Just one. Now valued at nearly $1 million, and the craziest part. You might have one sitting in your kitchen drawer. Don't believe it? Stick with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why this coin is so valuable, and how you can turn pocket change into life-changing wealth. But let me warn you, if you skip this, you might unknowingly spend a fortune on your next cup of coffee. Let's go back to the year 2019. A year of digital growth, political tension, and yes, a penny that would quietly rewrite the rules of modern coin collecting. The United States Mint released billions of Lincoln pennies that year. Most had a mint mark, either D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But then came the anomaly. A batch of pennies without any mint mark at all. Now, usually, coins from Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. So why is this one so different? Because something in the production process went wrong, or maybe perfectly right. The result? A small number of 2019 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark, but strikingly unusual characteristics. What characteristics? Let's break it down. Collectors began to notice three key features: a high gloss, proof-like finish, almost mirror-like under the light, striking sharpness in Lincoln's profile, far more detailed than usual. A slightly off-center strike or doubling in the lettering, signs of a rare minting error. Now here's where it gets exciting, and a little nerve-wracking. Out of billions of 2019 pennies, only a handful matched this exact combination. That's what makes them so valuable. Scarcity. Demand. Mystery. And one of those pennies? Just sold at a private auction for $925,000, take a deep breath. That penny could be in your house right now. Still think coins are just for grandpas with magnifying glasses? Let's pause for a second. Did you just glance at your coin jar? Good. You should. Because the last person who did that, retired early and bought a beach house. Imagine telling your friends, yeah, I retired on a penny. They'd laugh, until you show them the receipt from the auction house. Back to the story, the market and the money. So who's paying these sky-high prices? Private collectors. Wealthy investors. Museums. Even international buyers who understand one thing: rare coins are a tangible asset, and their value only goes up over time. Let's look at some numbers. In 2023, a near-perfect 2019 no-mint mark penny sold for over $800,000. This year, one crossed 925. Experts believe it could reach $1 million or more in the next few years. Now, here's where the urgency comes in. These coins are being discovered, graded, and bought fast. The more that surface, the more the value stabilizes. That means the window for massive profit is closing, and if you don't check your change now, you might miss the opportunity of a lifetime. But how do you know if the penny you have is the right one? You can't just look at the date and cross your fingers. There are three specific things you must check, and here's the twist: if you overlook even one, you might throw away a fortune. Let's dive into it. First, the absence of a mint mark. Flip your penny. Under the date, does it say D or P? If yes, move on. But if there's no mint mark at all, and the date is clearly 2019, you have step 1. Second, examine the finish. Hold it under a light. Does it reflect like a mirror? Is it unusually shiny compared to others? That proof-like appearance is a major clue. Third, look for errors. This is where it gets technical, but potentially profitable. Look closely at the words, "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Is there doubling? A slight misalignment? Any unusual spacing? These imperfections are the golden ticket. They signal that the coin wasn't just common, it was minted under rare conditions. Now, once you find a coin that checks all three boxes, stop everything. Do not clean it. Do not try to improve its appearance. You could destroy the value. Instead, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification can turn your lucky find into a verified treasure, and from there. Auctions. Collectors. Cash, you might be thinking, this all sounds too good to be true. Every $1 million coin was once just pocket change, until someone knew what to look for. The call to action. So now the question is, will you check your change? Or will someone else beat you to it? Will you leave this video and go back to scrolling? Or will you go find the coin that changes your life? Because here's the truth, every coin has a story. But some can rewrite your story too. The 2019 Lincoln numismatic penny isn't just a coin. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. A hidden doorway into a new lifestyle. One where wealth isn't a dream, it's a discovery. If you want more guides on coins that are making everyday Americans rich, subscribe now. Your future might just be sitting in your pocket. Don't miss it.